Today, we have a fantastic episode with my good friend Mia. Now, Mia and I met as engineers, as little baby engineer interns back in 2018 when we were both working for an oil and gas company. And it was so funny because both of us, we were not your usual engineer. We're very young, cute women who had so many other interests. Like, we love to be outdoors, we love to travel, all these other things, and we were in a very primarily male dominated industry, and we were very young too. It's been so amazing just to see how Mia has completely taken the real estate field and industry by a storm. She went from buying mobile homes to multifamily and now is in luxury real estate. She quit her corporate engineering job as well. She was going offshore to the oil and gas platforms and was actually rotational, so she'd work 2 weeks on the platforms and then 2 weeks off, and now she is fully in the luxury real estate new construction side of things. And I think you are going to absolutely love this episode because we just jammed out for the entire episode. I cannot wait to hear your feedback. Don't forget to let me know what you think. Send me a message on Instagram so that I know that you vibed with this episode. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, Mia, we are literally just talking about all of our travels and how both of us got started because we were in the oil and gas industry, and for you were working rotational, and
Yes.
it's just I need to make money off of this house that I have.
Yep. Yep. That was like our hustler and investor mindset and engineer mindset in the same. It's like, I'm not about to spend this much money and not be here half the year. For me, because I was rotating. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, and it's so funny because I wasn't rotating, but there's still a part of me that was just like, why am I spending so much on rent?
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't make any sense. I want to buy a house, but everyone that I know buys a house and they're like house poor and they can't travel as much. And that made no sense to me because I wanted to travel more. So I was like, how can I do this so that it makes
Yes.
sense to me?
Exactly. And we interned together. So we both saw all of the full-time hires, and some of them did Airbnb. I remember one of the ladies we worked with in California. Her name was, I can't remember, but she had an Airbnb she would rent out to the interns. And then I was one of the
Yes.
interns that would rent rooms from the Chevron employees. And so I remember, like, that's what triggered it for me. Like, I can do this too. I can make money off of per room.
Well, and it's so funny because we met back in 2018. I think that's
Hmm.
when we entered together in Louisiana. And I remember we both kind of clicked, I think for multiple reasons, in the sense that we were both smart, we're hustlers,
Yeah.
but not your typical engineer.
Yeah. Like, we're there, but we're also in a lot of other places mentally.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, but it's honestly been so amazing to watch your journey and see how you're doing luxury new construction right now. I'm like, yes, girl, you quit your job, you're
I
all in,
did
you're
it.
getting married soon. I'm like,
I
this is
did
incredible.
it. I know. It was a lot. I did not think I'd be doing this 1 year ago. Like, I knew I had to get off that rig, but I didn't know exactly how or if I was ready. You're never really ready. You just have to make that choice.
Well, because
So,
I think the last time I talked to you, this was right after you'd been on another podcast. And I was like, oh my
mhm.
gosh, wait, Mia does it too? She's in real
Mhm.
estate as well. And I
Yes.
remember that time you were like, I don't know what I can say or what I can't
Oh my
say
God.
because you're still working your
Yes.
job.
It was holding me back so much. And then I had a partner in Houston, and she was handling most of the stuff while I was on the rig. And I just felt like I was letting her down because
Yeah.
I would take some calls while I'm on the rig. And I felt like I was letting both people down. Like, I was
Yeah.
letting her down if I wasn't getting some of those calls. And then the people on the rig knew I'm walking out to take phone calls all the time. So both jobs were suffering. And I knew I had to get out of there.
No, I feel that so hard because I remember right before I quit, I'm getting under contract on another property. I'm trying to log into my Gmail. I can't
Mhm.
log into my Gmail
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's
VPN.
firewall and stuff. And I'm
Yep.
just like, this is so ridiculous. So I'm sending my login information to my friend to go sign paperwork. I'm just like, this is
Mhm.
so not allowed, but we're making this happen.
Yes, I closed so many deals like in that little tiny room, just like off my phone and having people do some mobile notary things with the power of attorney. Like, it was a hustle.
Completely. Okay, so I want you to take me back to when you got like your first deal, especially like when you were in engineering, because there's actually a lot of people who are engineers that want to get into real estate investing. They want to scale, but they just
Mhm.
feel nervous about it. Maybe they're a little too analytical. They don't really know how. So how did you like get that very first property? What was that first property? And then how did you progress from there?
Okay, so for me, I had been saving through high school and college, and we had the internship money, so that helped. So I knew I took the longer route by getting a full single family home and doing the
Mhm.
BRRRR strategy. When now I know about wholesale, I know about all these faster shortcut methods. But back then, I literally bought it cash, the full property
What?
cash. So
Wait, okay,
in
how
my
much was the
mind,
property and where was it?
it was in New Mexico. It was 117. But
You
the
bought it
reason
cash though? That's
yeah,
oh
I
my
know.
god.
Stupid, right? Like it's crazy. I'll tell you why. I was so scared of interest. Like I was
Yeah,
so conditioned that
and
like
loans.
if I get a loan, like I'm going to destroy my life. Like I didn't do student loans through college. I was afraid of loans.
Hey girl, if you've been dreaming about building generational wealth and living life on your own terms, this one's for you. Now, 5 years ago, I was right where you are, okay? Burnt out, working a corporate engineering job, grinding with no real freedom in sight. Then I bought my first investment property, learned how to live for free, and started making money in my sleep. That one decision changed absolutely everything. I stopped relying on my 9 to 5 and eventually walked away from it for good. And trust me, I don't regret it. Now I'm on a mission to help other people do the same, which is exactly why I created Wanderlust Wealth Academy, a transformational program and community where I teach you how to buy your first or next investment property and live for free in 2025. Now, this community is for three kinds of people, okay? If you are stuck in a job that you don't love, secretly dreaming of more freedom, more travel, and more passive income, and you know you don't want to be climbing the corporate ladder for the next 10, 20, 30 years, this is for you. Or maybe you're a digital nomad or a travel girly who just wants to build wealth and create stability without giving up your freedom. Or maybe you're a business owner or high earning corporate baddie who just sees the market volatility and knows that it's time to diversify your income. If any of those sound like you and you're making at least $75,000, ideally six figures, and have a minimum of $10,000 that you can put towards a property, then go ahead and apply for the Wanderlust Wealth Academy. Now, this is going to be a completely free call to see if you're a good fit for us and also for us to see if we're a good fit for you. You can go ahead and apply at oliviatati.com/apply WWA. That's oliviatati.com/apply WWA. Or you can just go ahead and click the link in the show notes. Now, spots are limited. We only take a few new folks a month. So make sure to apply now before there are no spots left, and they go pretty quick. Because, my girl, freedom is so much closer than you think.
I almost bought my college house with friends. And I was gonna house hack and rent it out to them in college.
Mhm.
And I got scared because of the interest. I started reading every single line, and the realtor was like, "No one reads that. You can just sign it." And I'm like, "I can't do this. I'm just too alone." So
That's
I
so
waited.
funny. That's so funny because I had a similar experience where when I graduated college, I was about to go buy a house as well, like a townhouse, rent it out to my friends while I was working. But then I ended up like going to grad school and all this stuff. And I just got scared as well. I was like, I'm 21, 22. I'm not gonna buy a house.
I know. Like we knew better, but you look around and you're like, no one else is doing it. Maybe I'm thinking something wrong. But we knew it deep down
Yeah.
in our heart. Like we knew we were right.
Yep. And it always comes back. It always comes back.
Yes. hmm But then I think of the positive. Like if I mean, you never know what could happen if I bought that, but it let me save enough money to go buy that and then burr it out, get that money and put it into a multifamily. So
Yeah.
you never know. Like there's so many ways you can do it, honestly.
I love it. Okay, so you bought a single family house, you
hmm
bird it, meaning you bought it, you rehabbed
Yes.
it,
I
refinanced.
rehabbed it. I pulled that money out and then I put that money into okay, so I bird it and then it's sitting there. I didn't pull the money out yet, but I renovated it and rented it out. So it's making good money. And I'm pocketing all that money because there's no mortgage. So
Yes, which
so I
is
have like
honestly that's the
and
good thing about buying cash though, I will say.
yes. So I'm like, okay, check one box, which is I in my mind it was like I'm never gonna be homeless. I own a house in cash. Like I'm
Yes.
never gonna be homeless. So I had that box checked and I'm making good money still with Chevron. So I'm like, okay, I can do this again. So I get a loan now. I'm not scared. I get a loan and I buy a mobile home in Louisiana because I was working offshore.
Okay.
Yes. So I was working offshore and I had money coming in. So I had enough for a small down payment on a mobile home. Right. So I I'll tell you this. I'll just say it because I think it's not that big of a deal anymore. But I bought it from a coworker who was on the rig in the heliport with me. So we're
Okay.
getting on and he's telling me like, "Oh, his wife really is trying to get rid of her mobile home, which was passed down from someone. And he has one too that he kind of wants to get rid of, but it has a great tenant in it." And I'm like, "I'll take your wife's if you sell me yours too, because then I can get one
Ooh,
loan and do it that way." Anyways, so I negotiated with him. I bought both of those houses with one loan
that's
and I
amazing.
lived in one. Yeah. So I got to live in,
Wait,
oh,
and you lived in one of them. Wait, this is amazing. How did I not know any of this story?
yeah, so I lived in one briefly, but I was working offshore. So you know how it is. Like you're
Yep.
working offshore, you're not really living in it. So I had that one and then I had the other one with a great tenant in it. And then soon enough I got a tenant in this other one. So I had both of those and I was traveling 24/7 like you and
Yeah.
working offshore. So literally I was traveling that whole entire time. Like I was not in that house ever. So it
I
worked out.
love that is especially and, there's someone who I follow on Instagram, and she is an oil and gas engineer as well, or some I don't know exactly what her role is, and I
Mhm,
literally messaged her and I was like, "Girl, you need to buy property, rent it
mhm,
out." Like, I
mhm,
think she lives in Colorado, I don't remember what her name is, because especially if you're never gonna be home, that's even
mhm.
perfect because you can go
And that's
travel,
how I felt. I'm
do
like,
whatever.
I'm never anywhere. Like, I felt like such a ghost, and I'm not a ghost anymore, but I was a ghost for a while because it's like, where's my like home? When people would ask me that, it's like I don't. I'm just traveling half of the year. I'm in wherever I want to be. Like when I'm on the rig, I'd be looking whatever country I want to be at for the next 2 weeks, and I'd go be in that country.
I love that. Well, and honestly, I don't know if you felt this way, but I very much when I like went to go work in the industry, I was just like the only jobs I can do is operations. Like every other job bores me. It
Hmm.
like I just cannot do it. I want more flexibility. Like I need to be somewhat in operations cuz I feel like if I was in a different role that where
Hmm.
I didn't get to go offshore, I didn't get to travel as much, I would have left sooner because it would
Hmm.
just destroy my soul.
It kept me going for a while. It was great. Honestly. And then, so what the other benefit of that, when I was driving back and forth to the rig from Houston to Louisiana to go offshore, I would pass, and they already knew I bought those mobile homes. So, like, they knew I was an investor in the area. And so they started sending me deals like crazy. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
don't have to deal hunt. Like,
Yeah.
realtors are sending me deals." And this lady sent me a 12-unit multifamily property. And
In
so I was
Louisiana?
in Louisiana.
Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
So it was in Lafayette. It's on my way to the rig. So that was my next purchase. And I'm like, how am I going to buy this multifamily property? Well, I have a whole cash paid off property that I
Yeah.
can refinance and get that money and buy this one. So that's kind of
Mhm.
how it started. And I
Well,
wasn't
and
afraid of loans. Little by little, you get more comfortable.
that's the beautiful thing about equity as well. Like, when you have
Mhm,
equity in a property, you can pull that out and use it for so many different things, and that's really
mhm,
how people get rich. Like, cash
mhm,
flow is great, right? But if you wanna build true wealth, it comes
mhm.
with building equity, you know?
Mhm. Yes, and like you always talk about it too. Your tenants are paying most of that down for you over time. So
Yeah.
even if you're cash flowing just a little bit, like you're getting something most people will never get in 30 years, which is a fully paid off house.
Exactly, and you have to think of it as a long-term investment. Like,
Mhm,
yes, you can obviously, like, sell things quicker, especially if the numbers
mhm,
make sense, but I think a lot of people do get it they'll buy a starter home being like, "I'm gonna live in this for 2 years and then move," and, they're not thinking about, "Okay, like, if I am gonna live in it for 2 years, how do I increase the value of the property so that it will definitely appraise for a lot more than I purchased it for," versus like,
mhm,
"Okay, I'm gonna go buy, like, a cute, nice home and then I'm gonna move out in 2 years and sell it, and like, no, no. Like,
mhm.
that's just not gonna
I
work.
know. And then I was stuck in that too after that 2 years. I'm like, I'm only going to buy something that is going to be a rental property from here on out. So I
Yep.
slowly started buying more and more multifamily properties came to me and I just stuck with it. And until new construction. So that's my next endeavor
Yeah,
is new
okay, tell
construction.
me, like so how did you then transition from multifamily properties to new construction?
So I got another multifamily with partners in New
Mhm.
Mexico after that, and that one was fully run by them, and I loved it. The hands
Yeah.
off part of it, because the one in Louisiana, I was doing most of the work, like
Yeah.
every 2 weeks on the way to the rig, and it was just a headache.
But before we get started, if you are the kind of woman who has done everything right on paper, but still feels like there is something missing, maybe you've built the career or you've collected the accolades, maybe you've even started investing in real estate or you've built a business, but deep down, you know you were meant for something more expansive, more aligned, and more you, then this is your sign because for the first time ever, I am launching Leap Year. This is my year long high touch mastermind for women who are ready to take bold steps towards the life they actually want. Now, we focus on real estate investing, we focus on business building, we focus on wealth strategy, but more importantly, we focus on personal alignment and full body freedom. And yes, this will include a luxury retreat in Italy. Now, this is the only international retreat we're going to be doing over the next year. This is for the woman who's no longer available for burnout, who wants to scale their income and her joy, who's building her next chapter on purpose and not by default. Now, spots are extremely limited. There's literally only 10 spots available, and one of them has already been taken, and I haven't even posted it anywhere yet. And everyone who joins is vetted to ensure the energy in the room is potent. So if you are ready to leap, if you know this is your time, if you are ready to come spend time with me in Italy in May of 2026 and just be in a room, spend the year around people leveling up their lives in an aligned way. This is not about door count or just hitting seven figures or multiple six figures for the sake of it. This is about building an incredibly big, beautiful, aligned business and life, doing it in a way that feels true to you and to your soul. So if you feel like this is you, make sure to apply using the link in the show notes or DM me the word mastermind on Instagram and I will send you the link to apply. I'll be reviewing applications throughout August and then the mastermind starts in September. So get your application in now and I'll be in touch.
So I knew like I can't do both of these anymore. I have to
Yeah.
find something more passive. So I built up a team in Houston that can do, I built up an architect, a builder, all of these people, and a good realtor who brought me the lot. And so she's like, just use this team. You're going to be set. I know it's scary because it's literally jumping into $1 million house
Yeah.
that I'm going to knock down and turn into dirt. Uh-huh. But I trusted her. So, and she found me because I was looking for a fourplex actually to
Mhm.
do another house hack. So I was looking for a fourplex, and she's like, "Don't do it, Mia. Don't do fourplex. Let me show you this other way." And so
I
she's the one that
love
got me
that.
into it. I call her. She calls herself my second mama, and she really is.
Oh.
She's amazing.
I love that though, because the thing I really want to point out is you didn't go in thinking like I'm gonna like be a
Mm,
multimillionaire right off the bat. I'm gonna do these beautiful high end luxury,
no.
right? You just got in the game with
Yes.
small things like a single family home and like RVs, right?
Mhm.
Like you're like, let
Mobile
me just
homes.
start. Yeah,
Yes.
mobile homes. Let me just that's they're different.
Mhm.
But let me just start, get my foot in the door and build up. And then
Mhm.
you reach this point where it's like, okay, this strategy isn't quite making sense anymore and it's only when you're in the game can new
Mhm.
strategy present itself
Yeah.
to you, right?
If
Because
not, you're still at base one of
Mhm.
thinking like everything's going to be perfect. But once you're in, you realize, okay, not everything is perfect, but it's still way better than doing nothing.
Exactly, and way better than
Mhm.
only relying on your corporate job, right? Because,
Mhm.
I mean, like you said too, I remember when we were working, like, there were so many, like, layoffs and people who were wondering if they were gonna have a job next year, and so much, like, franticness around that, and especially being
Mhm.
in the oil and gas industry, I remember to be fair, I remember looking at everyone and being like, "Man, I kinda wanna get laid off," right?
I know.
Because at least I have a package.
I wanted that package so bad. I didn't get it.
I know, I wasn't even eligible, it was so dumb. Um,
I know.
oh my gosh, but, like, I also just seeing how stressed everyone was because they only had one stream
Mhm,
of income from their
mhm,
jobs, and they had these
mhm.
big houses that they couldn't, like, if they didn't have their jobs anymore, wouldn't be able to afford themselves. And it's like, yes, you can have the big house, you can have whatever you want, but first you need to build the foundation, build the cash flow, build the cash reserves so that if anything does happen later down the line, you're going to be set, you know?
Mhm. Yes, that's one, and then the benefits of it too. If you already have a high paying job, you're paying too much in taxes. I guarantee it. Then if
Yes.
you just, I already know it. I was there. So if you just, if they knew that, then they would put a little bit of money into it. Doesn't have to be a lot, but just enough to get the tax benefits, and then, like you said, get in the game and then
Yeah.
learn better strategies as
Well,
they
and
go.
that's like, I remember even getting my first duplex. That first year, I did my taxes and I got back like, I think it was like $15,000. And I was just like, what? Like, cause I never got any money back from taxes. Like
Hmm.
when I was working my corporate job, I was just like, there is something, there's something happening here. What
Yes.
is this?
Yep. Real estate.
Real estate. Oh my goodness. Okay, so tell me a little bit more about your new construction journey, and then I actually wanna go back and kind of talk about, like, engineering, especially as a
I
woman,
know.
especially as a pretty woman, you know?
You brought back so many memories that, because I haven't talked about in a while. I've been like in this new construction world, but just
Mhm.
going through the journey, I haven't said that in a while, of the mobile homes and everything. You brought back so many memories of like paths it could have went, you know? Like
Mhm.
at first I was dialed in on mobile homes and I tried to get more. And I went to so many investors and like, look, I found these ones, I can get these ones. And they all said no, no, no. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, hey, maybe I should try the duplex or
Yeah.
fourplex. Like, but if they had said yes, who knows? I could have owned a mobile home park. Like there's so many options.
But the big thing too is even though people kept saying no, you
Hmm.
weren't like, "Man, maybe this thing isn't for
No.
me." You were like, "Okay, what's another strategy I can do?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I learned after a couple, like you gotta adjust. I'm like, okay, people don't like it and I don't blame them. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't sound pretty.
You're like, "It's not a sexy investment, I get it."
It's not the easiest pitch to make.
Yeah.
So you
Oh.
adapt. So yeah, I
Okay,
adapted.
so tell me
And
more about the new construction stuff because I'm always curious. Like, there's a part of me where I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll build like a new construction business with my
mhm,
mom and stuff like that."
mhm.
And who knows? That's not off the table. There's still like so many years left in my life that I know,
Right.
like, if I wanted
Oh,
to go that route, I could, you know?
no, you will. Let me say, you will do it. At some point, you're gonna do it because once I tell you the tax benefits of it, you're gonna be
Okay,
like, "Oh
come
my gosh."
through. Let me know. Let me know. I'm ready.
Okay, so I mean, you already know that you can buy one, live in it for 2 years,
Yep.
and get the benefits that way. Well, it's the same with new construction. You can buy a lot, live in it for 2 years, and then get the benefits when you move out after those 2 years
Mhm.
too. But the difference is it's just a lot bigger profit if you have the right team in place.
Well, and that's the thing. That's why I like new construction in general because, there's a sticker price on things that are already done, right? Because the
Hmm.
builder needs to make their profit margin, right? So if
Hmm.
you get the team, and obviously it's more work, but once again, if you're in the real estate industry, if you build the right team to make it happen, but it is a really great way to get started, or not even just to get started, but to like build your portfolio. And also new construction in general, it just has less problems, right? And like,
Yeah. That's what I found. It's easier actually. From doing
Mhm.
flips, you don't know what's gonna be there behind those walls. And even any flip that I did, you don't know what it's gonna look like. It's not gonna be pretty, and you're gonna get lied to, especially like you said, being a pretty girl, like you're gonna get lied to about a lot of the things, and you have to be meaner or like double check things and
Mhm.
do stuff like that. Where with new construction, it's new, it's clean, clear, you get bids, and it's more honest.
Yeah,
That's the word. It's more honest.
completely. Well, also, you don't know what's behind the wall, right?
Yeah.
You just don't know if the
And
electrical was done properly, if there's mold behind something, you know?
mhm. Yeah. So that's why I just find it a lot easier this way. But I know the benefit of if you have not a lot of money to start with and you start with wholesale and flip, you can get up enough to do luxury flips, which is
Yeah.
also a lot like the luxury new construction because you're dealing with homes that you don't have to deal with most of those issues. They're
Yeah,
already
completely. Well, so I
so
guess what kind of profit margins are you seeing? Like, I guess when I think about, like, the properties that you were doing, because the properties that you're doing are truly, like, stunning, high-end,
oh, thank
gorgeous.
you.
Like,
Thank
what
you.
are like, when you look at how much it takes to actually build it versus how much you'd be profiting for it, like, what do those numbers look like?
No less than six-figure profits on
Oh my gosh,
each one.
beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm starting slow right now. I'm not trying to overload too many, but I know I can get 5 or 6 a year,
yeah.
and those are six-figure profits on each one, and then that's slower money because they take time, and then
Mhm.
in the meantime, you get the wholesales to bring you in some fast money too, and
Yeah.
then the rentals, they're building your wealth, but they're
Mhm.
bringing in once they're mortgaged out, you're gonna have just a little bit of cash flow on each, but those
Yeah,
are building real wealth long term.
yeah.
So really, it's just about balancing all of it so you get all the benefits.
Well, and I love that you touched on, like, fast money versus slow money because I
Mhm,
tell people with real estate in general too, like, unless you're flipping or you're wholesaling, those are, like, active jobs
mhm,
basically,
mhm,
versus rentals and stuff, that's when you're building your wealth, it's a long-term thing, right? But so
mhm.
people get so frustrated because 'cause they're like, "How do I scale to X number of properties in X number of years?" And it's like, yes,
Yeah.
you can scale really fast, there are so many
Mhm,
ways, but that also comes with its own challenges
mhm.
depending on if you're bringing partners or systems and processes and all of that. But like,
Yeah.
what you need to remember is you still need a form of active income, money
Mhm.
that is constantly coming in. It's that fast money. It could be your W-2 job, it could be a business that you build, it could be wholesaling, it could be flipping, but you still need some form of active income, especially if you want to take your wealth truly to the moon.
Yes, exactly. So that's how I found out about the luxury flip process because I have a
Mhm,
partner whose specialty is luxury flips that also have six-figure profits.
mhm.
So I'm like, okay, I can get the same amount of profit in a shorter time span. And for this, you can't get a new construction loan and have those benefits. So you just adjust to each different one of the benefits. So for the flips, they go a lot faster and we have good crews.
Yeah.
And now I'm like working on building out the team. So I have my little brother plugged in. He's
Oh,
going
I
to
love
start
that.
sailing. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, new skill set I need to develop now is leadership and being able to teach all these other people how to bring those deals
Yeah.
because I know it's there and I know they can do it. They just need that little push.
Yeah, and I mean, in terms of scaling in general, what I think most people don't realize is it becomes a team sport, and
Hmm.
leadership really is the key thing you have to learn. And
Hmm.
it's hard because you don't really like, yes, even some people, especially if you led like a big team or something in your corporate job, but even then, you still weren't really responsible, right? Like the
Yeah,
like you can
it's
still kind of
different.
like, yeah, it's just so different. But like
Hmm.
realizing that if you do truly want to scale, you have to learn to become a leader, and scaling
Hmm.
looks different for everyone, but those are really some true skills, you know?
And then, like you say, it's not about chasing door count or this or that. Like, it's really not. Like, I'm making more money off of one home than all of the other rentals
Yeah.
because it's bringing so much profit. Just that one. So bogged in on the doors, or maybe people get focused in on other things too. And it doesn't matter. Like, look at the numbers, look at the
Yeah,
bottom line. That's what really
completely.
matters. And the bottom line,
Completely.
including tax benefits
Yes,
Mhm.
100%.
and
Okay.
appreciation that gets neglected.
Okay, so another thing, you're in Dubai right now, correct?
I'm in China right now.
You're in
I
China,
was
you're in China.
Yeah,
Okay, are you just traveling or, like, do you have business you're doing there?
I'm doing business in China now. I'm getting building material
Okay,
for the
love.
projects, and we're
Yeah.
providing it to other builders too. So that's why I'm here. Before this, I did Europe all summer and then Dubai, and I took my family, which was great. Like I told
Oh.
myself I did not want to go to Dubai without my family. Like I
Oh my
knew that
gosh.
was special to me. So, and then I sent them home after Dubai, and I came here, and I've been working my butt off this whole
Yeah.
month in China. I've been here. Me and my husband have been here over one
Okay,
month
so are you
now.
married now? Did you already get married?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, I feel like that was so undercover. You were, like, suddenly engaged and then suddenly married.
Yeah, we definitely moved quick.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so I wanna kind of take us back a little bit to, like, back in the engineering days and back into the early days, especially when you were just getting started investing in real estate, because I remember listening to a podcast that you were on. I think I just listened to your part because I was like, "Oh my gosh, how fun." And it's so funny seeing all the comments because everyone's like, "No way this girl owns, like, 30 doors, and, like, she must be doing OnlyFans and all this crap." I'm like, "This is the most ridiculous thing ever." And it's
I
so funny
know.
because I think like I was actually talking to a friend about this today, but I wouldn't, even though I don't use my engineering background like at all anymore, I wouldn't change it for the world because I feel
Mhm.
like it put me in male dominated spaces and I don't feel intimidated. Like, I'm like,
Mhm.
if you can do it, trust me, I can do it too.
Oh my god, exactly. Like, who thinks they can just do new construction? Like, probably us because we've been engineers, male dominant field. Like, you're not afraid of it. You just
Yeah,
feel like you can handle everything. And
at
you can,
all.
because you see it and you're like, okay, it's about being competent, handling yourself a certain way. And you always talked about this too, like you'd wear your yellow hat and you're competent. You're not worried about it because you're projecting something that you want to show. Like, I'm here, I'm taking up space. So that's
Completely.
important.
Completely. And so another thing I think is just so interesting about your journey, and this is where I'm like, I love like women like us who do go into fields like engineering and then end up leaving or end up doing other things, right? Because you were Miss Houston, Miss, like you did pageantry stuff as
I did a
well
little bit of
while being an
pageants.
engineer.
Yes, yes. I loaded my plate up. Yeah, I did Miss Houston Latina last year. And then I moved to California. So I was not in Houston as much as I should have been. So I took a step back. I just knew it was a lot on my plate.
Totally, totally. What made
Mhm.
you want to go into that?
I think, like you said, being in a male dominant field, you're there all the time and you're like, I just need
Mhm.
to balance this out with some feminine energy
Yeah.
somewhere. So I think that's what started it. And then they had like age limits at first. And I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
it's probably like the last year I could do this. I should do it. And then that year they changed the age limit or they got rid of the age limit. So now it's like, oh, okay, I have time. I have time. I can do other things. It was a lot of pressure to feel like I had to do that year before I
Yeah.
passed in the age limit.
No, I love that, and I feel that too. I used to actually keep, like, a dress in my car whenever I got off of the oil and gas platform, like, at the
Mhm.
heliport. I'd keep
Oh,
a
yeah.
dress in my car so I could change. I was like, "I need to be a girl again."
I kept one with me. My luggage stayed with me. I had clothes in there ready to change in the airport. As soon as I got to MSY, I'd go change in the airport. I wish I documented it. That's my
I
only
know.
regret.
Me too. Okay, so I wish I documented it as well, but I think it's like we were so ingrained at the
Mhm.
time to not document things because of like which fair
Work.
enough
Yeah.
policy stuff, all these
Mhm.
things. But I'm like, man, that was like a freaking time. And I remember at the end,
I
I
know.
started slowly taking like more pictures of like the
Mhm.
like stuff, and I just like I'm so glad I at least have a few of those pictures.
I
But
know.
yeah,
I did it too. My last hitch. I knew it was gonna be my last hitch. I just knew. I'm like, I'm not gonna come back after this. And I'm like, let me make some video. So I made a few videos like this is gonna be my last hitch. I just need to document it. I don't even know, like you see, I'm not good with the camera setup or anything. But I just felt it. I'm like, let me go get the rig. So I like went, I got a few videos with the rig at least, a little something. But you're right, when you're in it, you're not thinking of sharing it. I wasn't thinking of teaching anyone. I was actually
yeah,
the
no,
opposite. I was like, I don't even want to say what I'm doing because I could be doing it wrong. I'm not going to tell someone else and be responsible if
yeah.
they get in a hole or something. So I always made it clear like, I'm taking this risk by my own choice. And if you want to do it, that's up to you. But now I've learned what I've done right, what I've done wrong, and I want to just share those mistakes so that they can learn from it.
Completely, and I think for me too, I always kind of go along on the journey, but never was I like, "I'm gonna mentor and I'm gonna
Mhm,
coach. This is my big
mhm.
grand
No,
plan." It's like
you don't think
I
about it.
no, and it's like I fell into and I think about this even when I was an engineer. I loved when we had interns. Like, I was that was my
Mhm.
favorite. Love bringing in
The
interns,
summer,
showing them
I
your
know.
work. Like, well, and it was so funny. I remember the last intern that I had, I was like, "Don't come here."
Oh
I was
no.
basically like, go to grad school, get your degree, take some time to really figure out what you wanna do, what you want your life to look like.
That's so funny. I remember I started changing. I had FEs under me, and when they would come on and be so gung ho, I'd be like, "Man, I need to like be more excited about this," but I'm not inside, and like I felt bad too. Like that leadership wasn't there. My mind was on the deal that I'm about to lose by not
Yeah,
taking this call to
yep,
be in this room right now, and
yep.
I just felt bad. Like I felt like I was poisoned. Like it's not. I didn't feel right doing it. But I was literally losing six-figure contracts with my partner.
You're like, "I
This
need to go,
doesn't
like, I need to go."
something doesn't isn't adding up here. That was like the turning point. I recorded that one, by the way. I recorded that. I pulled it out. I'm like, I just lost this six-figure contract because of this six-figure job. Like, not smart.
That's so funny because it was similar to me where I was like, "Okay, I need to put my 2 weeks notice in," when I just, like, couldn't get documents signed. Like, I
Mhm.
couldn't 'cause I was offshore. I didn't have,
Mhm,
like internet was down, and then there's no service out there, and I'm like,
mhm,
"I literally this needs to get sent, like, in the next 2 minutes, and I
mhm,
can't, like, log in." And I was just like, "This
mhm,
isn't sustainable. This isn't gonna work. I need to go figure this out and do it myself," you know?
mhm. I'm so glad that that happened to us, though.
Yeah, I know. Truly, truly. Oh my goodness. And the thing is, I don't know, like, yeah, do you regret anything?
No, just not documenting more of it and, like, having that to share, but I don't regret any of it. What would I do different? That's another way to think of it, document more. I don't know, what would you do differently?
No, that's the thing. I don't think I would do anything differently because I don't think I would be here now if I didn't go through the struggles I went through, if I
Mhm,
didn't, like, hate what I was doing. Like, it's not that I hated it, I just
mhm,
didn't love it, and it sucked my soul a little, you know?
mhm. I know.
And, like, I just wouldn't change anything in terms of, like, my degree or anything like that. Like, yes, I could have probably been in a degree that was more business related or real estate, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
also think that I provided myself with a whole new perspective, right, that a lot of people wouldn't get, you know?
Yeah, like, that part of it, of getting the engineering degree, but then moving into this, don't regret that at all. Like, that's the
Yeah.
best degree that we could have, honestly.
Completely. And it's always something you can pull back on. That being said, I'm, like, a few years out now, so I'm like, "Would they ever take me back?" But I don't wanna go back either, you know? So
No, no, I don't. But yeah, it's the best thing, like you said, to fall back on. And don't forget, it's your education. Like it's in your brain. It's not just a diploma. That's
and
in
I
your
think
brain, and you're using it whether you think it or not. You're using the analytical, the critical thinking, the
that's the
number analysis. Like you are using it.
well, and that's the thing. I'm like, what it taught me is more so I love optimizing. I love making little tweaks to things to make it better. I also know that just because everything says X, Y, and Z on a piece of paper or on a calculator does not mean that's what it's
Oh
actually going
yeah.
to be in real life. And it's the
Pro
same thing with real
formas,
estate
toilet
investing.
paper.
Yeah,
Exactly.
truly.
When people
True.
show them and they're like so stuck on them, I'm like, okay, this is just imagination, like foo or what does he say?
Yes.
Fugazi. Fugazi. It
Well,
doesn't
that
exist.
like, I used to what was it at the time? ETC or CTC, which was, like, the
Mhm,
technological company, and I used to work with them a lot because I was in, like, flow assurance, and I
mhm,
remember there was this incredibly complicated calculator of how much chemical you had to dose
mhm,
into this thing, otherwise the whole thing was gonna freeze and you were screwed, and then I, like, looked
mhm,
at it, I'm like, "Why is it this complicated?" And it was, like, so bad to the point, like, I would be getting calls in the middle of the night all the time because this wasn't working, we don't know how to use a
mhm,
calculator, and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, "I'm just simplifying it." So I made an
mhm.
Excel spreadsheet, made it so simple, gave it to the people, and I'm like, now you can use it. And it's just like the easiest thing
Simple.
ever. And it's like they overcomplicate things.
I think they do it on purpose. Engineers, they want to make it complicated so they can look smarter
Yeah,
and so they can be the owner of certain documents. But we are the opposite. We are like not gatekeepers at all. We want to make everything simple. I think that's just in our nature.
completely. Completely. Oh my
So now
goodness.
we take this whole industry, which is real estate investing, that is mostly male dominated and women don't even want to touch it. And we're like, how can we make this simplified and get women into it? Like we're
And
applying that same framework.
that is literally why I created my coaching program and why it's mainly women in there as well,
Mhm,
because I'm like, it's really not that hard. And a lot of the people that come to me are engineers, right? Or they're in
mhm,
some high paying degree, like they're a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. I'm like, you got through medical school, you got through engineering, you got through law school. Trust me, you're gonna be fine.
mhm. You'll be good. If people can do this straight out of high school, you can do this after accomplishing all of that. And
Exactly.
the reason they won't is because it's so much invested in what they've already built up. It
Yes.
hurts to admit or to see for yourself that you can make way more money without it. It hurt me to see it too at first, but I'm like, it's the reality. I'm making more money without it. So,
Completely, and it's that cost sunk fallacy where it's like,
mhm,
I put so much time, energy, money into this one degree, but also, like, for a lot of people, you're still so young, like, I turned 30, you know, and I'm turning
mhm,
31 later this year, and even if you're turning 40 or even if you're turning 50, right, there's still
mhm,
time, you can make the switch, you just have to decide, and is it
mhm,
worth you being, like, upset, depressed, like, in your job, or just chugging along because this is what you've done forever, versus
mhm.
taking a little bit of a risk and doing the thing that's actually going to get you to live the life you wanna live.
Yes, it all takes a little push. It took
Yeah.
my husband had to give me a little push. I wouldn't have done it. I
No.
1000% wouldn't have done it. And oh, that too. So I was applying for a finance role with Chevron and
Mm,
I didn't get it. And I wanted it because I'm like, okay, this is numbers. And I put on that application my rental stuff on there. I'm like,
yeah.
I asked my supervisor, should I put this on there? Like, I feel like it applies. Like, I'm managing all of this. I'm looking at all of these spreadsheets. So I added it, but then it probably put in their mind, like, "Wait, how is she doing all of this and
Yeah.
working for us?"
Well, but I think too is that, like, what people don't realize too with corporate is it's not about how good you are. It's about who
Mhm,
you know. It's about the
mhm,
connections that you have. Because
mhm,
same for me, where I felt like I was just getting passed up for jobs. I was like, really, like, come on, and not to like toot my own horn, but I was pretty good
mhm,
at my job, and I was constantly
mhm.
like, like touted for, oh, like she should be in leadership positions, all of that, and I was like, I hate that my whole fate is dependent on what's happening in like the boss's room right now. Like, and they're just like,
Yeah,
well, I feel like doing this, or like this person, yada yada yada, or this person has been here a little longer, so they
mhm.
get the job. And it's just like
Yes.
really, really like no.
And the word gets around quick. Like if you take one or two real estate calls, like that image is going to stick in someone's mind forever. That
Yes.
you took that call, even if it was during the 5 minutes that they're literally smoking cigarettes outside.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Like smoking cigarettes, yes. Real
Yeah.
estate calls, not okay. Like
Well,
it's
because
just
it's
the
out of the
perception.
norm. It's out of the norm, and I think it
Mhm,
also like threatens other people's viewpoint. It's like, oh, you think you're better than us? And I
yeah.
think it just like
Oh
puts a
yeah.
sour taste in people's mouth.
Because, like you say, leadership, part of leadership is those little moments. And I felt like, okay, if I'm not in those small conversations that I know they don't matter at all. Like I know it, we all know it. But if you're not in it, now you look like you're not being a proper leader. And it's true. And I see that now with my team too. Like those little conversations, now that I am so passionate about this and I'm fully in it, make sure to take all of those moments as something serious because they're trust building moments.
Yeah, completely, completely. And I guess for you, like, what are some ways that you're, like, building your leadership skills currently?
So right now I'm building out the supply chain for all of the building material to come in, and I need sales ladies to sell it.
Mhm,
So these are my
mhm.
first hires are the sales ladies for the products
Yeah.
and then the wholesale team as well. So these are the first time that I have these direct reports, I guess you'll call them in real estate,
I
besides
love that.
contractors, right?
Yes, yes, I love that. No, but that is huge, and the thing that this is where being in corporate is so weird because you don't realize how, like, money is actually made within the company, and it's like,
Mhm,
you have to be able to sell. Like,
mhm,
you have to be able
mhm,
to market, you have to be able to sell. People need to know about your product, and you have to be able to actually get people to buy it, you know?
mhm. That's one piece of the story, I guess, yeah, we skipped over. The COVID summer before going
Yeah,
offshore, I was
yeah.
doing door-to-door sales
Oh my gosh, okay, so
in
I did
Houston.
I did Cutco.
Cutco? What is Cutco?
Cutco, so
The
it's that one
knives?
it's the knives,
The
yeah.
knives, yeah. I was doing pest control in
Oh my
Houston
gosh.
heat.
Oh my gosh,
But
that's
I
but I
think back
really
on that.
do think, like, the people who succeed are the ones who go into sales and they
Mhm.
understand there's a bit of hustle in there, like, you gotta want it.
Yes, I learned more in that summer than I did in most of the engineering job for
A
what I'm doing now.
1,000%, like, I literally learned more from Cutco than I did from
And
any of
I
my
remember
engineering jobs.
I didn't wanna leave when summer was over and then the job was starting because COVID delayed the job, right? So I had a little
Yeah.
gap, and then the job was finally starting, and I didn't wanna leave, but I knew, "Okay, next summer when next summer comes around, I'm gonna be rotating, and I can do this in my 2 weeks off." And I was
Yeah.
like, "That was my plan. I'm gonna build the team. I'm gonna have the team under me in the 2 weeks off." But then, oh my god, that would have been a nightmare. Like, I started
No, you
investing
would
in
have
real
had
estate
no
all over.
life. You would have had no life, and it's like you
I
need
know.
to find after being offshore for 2 weeks, you need to find some joy.
You need a break. I remember I told my some of my coworkers that. They're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna run my sales team when I get off the rig." And I told them like how much money is in it and they didn't believe me and I just saw all of the perception that like when
Yeah,
are you going to rest? Like where's your focus? And
yeah.
so I didn't do it. But I applied all of that to real estate.
Yes.
That's what
Or
got me
the
a lot
worst
of these
is when
skills.
I don't know if you get answers like this, but people are always like, "When are you gonna find a husband, and when are you gonna do all of this?" And I'm like, "I'm on my own timeline, okay? Like, I don't
Yes.
see you doing anything."
On the rig, yeah. Oh, they love that question. They're like,
Yeah.
"You married yet?" Every
Yeah.
2 weeks, come back. "You married yet? You got
Oh
married?"
my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's so
Like,
funny.
they're really pushy on that, but I get it. It's the
It's the
values
culture.
there.
It's the
Yeah,
culture,
it's the
yeah.
culture. Mhm.
Exactly. And that's another thing is I feel like working on the offshore platforms, you just like learn to talk to a different kind of person where I
Mhm.
think that helps so much when you're in construction, right? Like
Mhm.
understanding like how to talk to different people at different stages and different levels.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of parallels between running the whole contract crew and then the timeline of building a house with the
Mhm.
timeline of drilling a well. Like
Yeah.
you're building a house up, you're drilling a well down. It's the same phases, the same business partners with POAs. It's like the same exact thing I'm doing right now
Oh
with
my gosh.
contractors and plan of actions. That's what we
I
call it.
love it. I love it. Well, Mia, we are reaching the end of the episode here, but I want to ask you the three final questions we ask everyone. Number one, what does your ideal perfect day look like?
Ooh, nowadays,
Yeah.
wake up at 11.
Oh my god.
Wake up at 10 or 11. Wake up in that range. I like slow mornings right now.
Oh
Uh,
my gosh.
wake up, gym, red light therapy bed is my
Mm.
new thing right now. So I'm actually getting some here in China. I'm going to bring back.
Mm.
So some of the girls want to focus more on wellness. So I'm going to let them sell red light therapy beds. And I
Nice.
get it. Like not everyone wants to deal with construction material.
Yeah.
So the ones
Yeah.
that want to do red light therapy beds, they can. I love mine. So I do that in the morning, and then this current process I'll go through. We go meet with all of the factories, find the products that we like, which is just like a passion job. Like you're shopping. You're
Yeah.
literally shopping. It's fun. You're just shopping and picking the products you like. Come home, and then now it's daytime in United States. So start taking these kind of calls, US calls, manage the team back there. And then I usually stay up till like 1 or 2 a.m. out
Yeah.
here in this time zone. So it's my balance to get a little bit of China time and a little bit of US
Mhm.
time. But I like it. I like this like
Well,
wake up at 11, stay up till 2 or 3.
so that's how I feel about whenever I'm in Europe. Like I
Mhm.
like that I have my mornings to myself, so I don't start like working until like 2 p.m., but then I'll work later throughout the day. But I'm a
Mhm.
morning gal, so like I
Mhm.
want to be up early. I want to go on a long walk. I want to go to my pastry shop and grab a little pastry and just hang out and take a walk and all this stuff.
But how do you do it in Europe? Because everything's closed in the morning. Like no one is up or alive
Yeah,
yet.
but so yeah, like it depends on where you go, but like things open at like 9. So if I wake up at
Okay.
6 or 7, I can go on a long walk in the morning, watch the sunrise, like just enjoy me time, get
Mhm.
showered and get ready. And by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I'm like ready to be out in the world, you know?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
slow morning is the key. It doesn't matter what time, as long as, yeah, you make time for the whole morning routine.
exactly. Exactly.
And
Okay.
keep in
Yeah.
mind, from the rig being up at like 4:30 a.m., like
Oh,
clockwork, I'm like loving this right now.
oh, complete. No, that was crazy town. And I
That
remember
was like 3:30 a.m., 4:30 a.m.
well, and even when I went to the office, because I lived in New Orleans and had to commute to Covington, but I have to work out in the morning, otherwise I won't work out. And so I'm waking up at 3:45 a.m. to go to the gym, do all this
Mhm.
stuff, take the dog out, then drive an hour to get to I'm just like, this is not sustainable.
I remember that. You used to work out at 3 in the morning
At 3
before
in the morning.
and then get to the internship at 5 a.m. Yeah, you're a morning person for
I
sure.
am.
I can't do
But not
that.
I don't need to be up at 3. I don't need
I That's extreme.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Question number 2. What's a mantra that you have or something you tell yourself over and over again?
Ooh, okay, I'm not big on this, but
Yeah.
I'm sure I have some. I say you got this a lot, but that's basic.
No,
You
but
got
that's
this.
good. I
Yeah, you
mean, I
got
say
this.
that too, right? Because I think a lot of the time, especially when things aren't going our way, it's so easy to just give up. But like
Mhm.
remembering, like, no, no, you got this. Like, keep going. And sometimes I have to call my friends and they have to be like, girl, you have been through way harder than this. You got this, you know?
You got this. Yeah, yeah. I think a big one is, and I'm saying it in my head right now, Mia, you got this. Like,
Yeah.
it's so simple, but it's just like I'm talking to myself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yep.
when you asked me that, I immediately said Mia because there's not really a mantra, but I say Mia, like I'm like talking to myself, whatever I'm
Completely.
about to say. Like, Mia, you got this. Mia, focus on this. Mia, don't get distracted. Like, I just talk to myself like that.
Well, and it's almost like in that sense, a lot of the times we need like a teacher or a mentor or a coach
Mhm,
because we need someone outside of us to tell us, even though things that we already know. Like I think about getting a fitness coach, right? A lot of the
mhm,
time you're like, okay, I know what to do, right? But
yeah.
sometimes you just need that outside person to be like,
Mhm.
hey, do this. Like you can do this. You got this, right?
Oh, yeah. My gym out here has the mirror, and it has the coach in the mirror, and so you just follow the
Oh,
coach in the mirror. You don't have to,
that's
like, look at a
fun.
YouTube screen, and I love it. It's
Oh
great
my
because
gosh.
you're right, you just need someone you already know what to do, but when that person's doing it faster than you, you're like, "Okay, let me keep up."
Yes, yes, no, truly, and that's why I actually switched to going back to, like, workout classes, like, for lifting, but it's, like,
Mhm,
with a group, because I found that,
mhm.
like, by myself, I am motivated, but I'm so much more motivated when I'm around other people, you know?
Are you getting in the Pilates movement
Not
right now, or
yet, not yet, I'm still
I'm
a
not
little
either.
girl. I just, like I know it's hard, but, like, the micro movements, I just, like, need more oomph, you know?
Mhm. I know what you mean. It's, like, too boring, too slow, like, you
Yes,
need a little
yes,
weight on it.
exactly, exactly.
That's
Okay,
my
last
excuse. That's what I
no,
tell myself, so I don't do it.
I love it, I love it. I'm the same, honestly.
I know. It's like just we just keep telling ourselves that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, last question. What does wealth mean to you?
Ooh, wealth means freedom. It means doing what you want, when you want, with who you want. That's true wealth. And it's
Complete
not money in the bank, it's the freedom to do what you want, when you want, with who you want.
completely. And it's like money helps, but like I
Mhm,
think about like working in corporate, there's such a big chunk of time where you can't do the things that you want. And for
mhm,
me, like money was good, but like it wasn't worth it to not actually have freedom and like what
mhm.
I believe is true wealth.
I had lots of freedom with the 2 weeks off, but I didn't
Yeah.
have the structure that I needed. Like every time I had to get pulled away, because it's work too, the real estate in the
Yeah.
2 weeks off.
Yep.
So it wasn't even, yeah, it was like I had a system and then I would get ripped away, like
You're
right
like,
when it was right
no.
time. I know. And I guess you're right. That's not freedom if I wanted to keep doing it. So now we are. We're really wealthy and free.
Ugh, I love it. Mia, where can people find you, reach out to you, learn more about what you're doing?
Right now, Instagram is pretty much the only thing I've been on regularly, but I have a new team that's posting on all of the sites. So that's new. So
Love it.
YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and
What's the
Facebook.
name of the accounts?
Invest with Mia on Instagram, Mia Navarro on YouTube, Mia V Navarro on TikTok, and that's it.
I love it. I love it. Mia, this has been so wonderful. I love seeing your journey. I feel like we're going to touch base a lot more often now, but
Yes.
it's really been
I'm
so wonderful seeing everything.
I'm gonna need your interior design services on one of my next
Yes.
builds for sure.
Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. Well,
I'm glad
thank
you
you.
shared that because even if you only talked about real estate and never mentioned it, I wouldn't know. And then
Totally.
I
And it's not something
realized
we
if you
talk
don't say
about so
it,
much.
people
Yeah.
won't know. But just
Truly.
the couple
No,
of drops just spreads the word.
you have to, and that's what people don't realize. I think people always think like, "Oh, I'm being so annoying, yada yada yada."
Mhm,
No, people have minds of a goldfish, and like a lot of the times they don't even see it because there's so
mhm,
much content being put out there. Like, repeat yourself, say it again, put it out
mhm.
there.
Or even the things that we learned so long ago, like they seem simple, we don't even wanna say it, but you
Totally.
realize people don't know it. So
No.
you have to just simplify it. So anyways, I'm learning that and you've been a big inspiration. So thank you for that.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, thank you
Yes.
so much, Mia.
Thank you too. Bye. We'll be in touch.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Wanderlust Wealth Show. Now, don't forget to follow the podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you love this episode, it would literally mean the world to me if you shared this with a friend or a family member, or literally like anyone off of the street. Like right now, go ahead, share it so you don't forget, or post it on social media and make sure to tag me. I love seeing what you're listening in on and what you resonated with, and I'm just so freaking thankful for you. I'm so freaking excited for you. I love you, and don't forget, life really doesn't have to be hard.